Okay, so wherever you are watching, this is Farmside Podcast, your podcast that brings all you want to know about agriculture into your footsteps. Try to follow Farmside Podcast and you will never regret. If you are a farmer or interested in farming, we give you all the analysis or all the steps you can take to take your farming process. Today, I have a guest with me and I will get back to her and she will do the introduction herself and take us through why she's here. And it's all about agriculture and trying to develop the, let me say, the privilege or the the privileged people with what through agriculture. So I will not take you too much. I will get back to Madam Anatu. Then she will take us through whatever we have to discuss. Then we continue from there. Madam, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here.
Okay. So please, madam, and you are welcome to Farmside Podcast. And I would like you to introduce yourself to our viewers so that they will get to know who you
Okay.
are. And
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Anatu Ben Lawal. I am an agroecologist and I am a farmer, basically. I love the earth. I love growing things. I love green things. Everything earthy, that is me. And so it's my privilege to be here this afternoon. And I'm looking forward to our discussions.
okay. She is a farmer. Have you heard? Don't sit at home and say you are a lady, you cannot farm. Yes, as a lady, you can even do a better farming more than men. That is why we say gender equality. What men can do, women can do and do better. So even in the farm, we can do it better.
Yes.
And that reminds me, if you go to the upper regions, women farm a lot more than even men. You go to especially the upper west, you see a lot of women in the farming, whilst the men are lying down in the house.
I know, that's something we need to redress.
Yes, so that is what we are going to talk about today. And she's working with an organization, and I will let her introduce the organization to us. We'll get to know more about the organization and the purpose of the organization and why they are in Tamale here or in Ghana. They are here. I will get back to her. So, madam,
Yes.
what is the name of the organization you are working with, and why Tamale or why Ghana or why Northern Region? Let me say it that way.
Okay. I am the name of the organization is Social Innovation Africa.
Okay.
And Social Innovation Africa has two pillars.
Okay.
And it's I don't know if I mentioned it's a social enterprise.
Okay.
And so it's not an NGO.
Okay.
However, we work with certain indicators that other non-profits have used in the past. So we are not saying non-profits are bad, but we have the business aspect centered in the middle of everything that we are doing.
Okay.
So that's sustainability for us.
Okay.
Social Innovation Africa was started when I had a vision, and I don't know if you want to hear it.
Oh,
I was
share it with us.
Yeah, so I came back from mission. I was working in Sierra Leone before, and I have been working in development for a long time. Then I had one Sunday afternoon, then I had a vision, and I saw women in the northern parts of African countries crying and begging me to come. And it was so weird because I wasn't thinking about that. So so it intruded on my conscience.
Okay.
So I was stuck there, but I saw the rise of industry. I saw that I came and then was able to start a few industries, a few social enterprises, a few organizations. That was not the prevailing aid model of handouts and dependence on funding.
Okay.
And so I heard a voice telling me to go and start with agriculture. It was a long vision. So I'm also an evangelist, so it was a long vision. The idea is to start in northern Ghana and then spread to the other parts of African countries, but always the northern zones because of the conflict that is there, the difficulty. All African countries are quite similar. So the northern zones are all having the same kind of underdevelopment across board. So and a lot of conflicts and a lot of deprivation. So that was the idea. So I saw this amazing vision. It went on for 6 hours, so I wouldn't go into that. So after that, I had an opportunity opened up, and then I came to the north of Ghana about 4 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. So that means the northern Ghana is the first place, or you already have you have already extended to other African countries.
We're also in Uganda and Kenya. in East Africa. But we have, so I said we have two pillars.
Okay.
We have governance, peace, and security, which is one pillar. Because wherever you find black people, there tends to be, we don't have good governance. So we had that as one pillar. Then we had the innovation, agriculture, gender, climate, those interesting things
Okay.
as well here in Ghana. The idea is that eventually the two programs will run as one, but for now, these are the opportunities that we had to start. So my deputy is in the East Africa. He does a lot of work in Uganda, Ethiopia, etc., around security and governance. And then I'm here doing women's gender equality, etc. Yeah. So everything we do is also to reduce the impact of sexual and gender-based violence.
Okay.
That's our main reason for being. Yeah.
Okay. If I may ask, are you a Ghanaian?
So yes, I am Ghanaian, but it's an interesting one. Historically or generationally, my father is from Nigeria,
Okay.
and my mother is half Benin
Okay.
and half Ghanaian. But they've lived here for so long, and they've settled here for so long. They haven't really lived in Nigeria. Even though I'm proud to come from Nigeria, I'm not denying.
Okay.
But yeah, I've lived here. I grew up in the Ivory Coast because my father worked there, so I'm West African.
Hey,
But
then
Ghana is
the
where
countries are.
Ghana is where I identify as home,
Yeah.
and I now identify with the North as my home.
Okay. So, how long have you stayed in the northern Ghana?
Okay, so I told you I was working in development before, regular development with NGOs, etc. So for about 10 years, I was in and out of the North. And there was a time I stayed here for about 2 years on a water program. I was in between Ghana and the North and Accra.
Okay.
So I was seeing myself as going to the field. So when I come here, I'm in the field, etc. So I'd lived here, but I'd not lived here. So when I came to settle, it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, that one I was saying I'm fully.
So you are now fully settled in the northern
Yes,
Ghana.
yes.
Then you are welcome.
Thank you.
Amaraba.
Do
you understand the language?
One. I'm very happy to be
so
here.
Amaraba, you say Nkulumina.
In Kulmina.
Okay.
They've never told me that one. Oh, I know that's and all those things.
Amaraba means you are welcome.
Thank you very
So you say Nkulumina. That means you have come permanently.
Yeah, I've come here. In Kulmina, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you are looking at, let me say, you are targeting sexual and gender based violence, and you are using agric to tackle that.
Yeah.
Why? And how, like, there are so many ways you could have used. Why do you choose to use agriculture?
Okay, so in my vision and the visions I've been having, I believe that Africa's gifts, every nation, every continent has a gift or a purpose given to it. And I believe that for me, Africa is agriculture.
Okay.
And we have not done any research or much research, but I believe agriculture and value addition. So how do we now, is the key to our wealth. How do we now change our one crop into 30 different things? Maize, how can you turn it into crisps, snacks, different things? And that's where our wealth is locked. We also have a lot of herbs, spices. I think that's where we are missing. We have not yet taken time to explore that. So if you notice, we keep on copying other people.
Okay.
But we have to come into our own, and our own lies within the agriculture space, and that's where our wealth is locked up. So, and it's also the low-hanging fruits. It's easy to, food sells, it moves. Anything around beverage, food and beverage moves quickly, etc. Whereas when you look at things like health, IT, etc., tech, they are good, but you need a huge startup capital. So yes.
But with farming, you just need the land and some small capital.
Yes, but unfortunately, you need also irrigation if you want to do it properly.
Yeah.
So that's still a challenge, but yes, that's what I believe God has given us. So.
And with this, I am just going to push you on something. I don't know whether you see when we say agric, looking at the especially down north here, we are naturally gifted. We have the land. And the land was even naturally very fertile. But if you look at our land, because of foreign, the foreign chemicals we bring, the fertilizer, the weedicide, the pesticide, and other things, is affecting our lands seriously.
Yeah.
And we have even natural things that we could have adapted to, like, going organic, purely organic and other things. But we are so used to the chemical things. And it even affects the product, our harvest. When we harvest, the product that we harvest, you see that, let's say our vegetables, for instance, tomato, you harvest tomatoes and there are a lot of chemicals in it because of the chemical sprays that we do. Do you educate the people on that one too, or that is not part of your field?
No, it is part of our field, and we try as much as possible to do organic. You can't be wholly organic now, as I'm sure you know, because of we've sort of given our authority or abandoned our responsibility in terms of ensuring that our seeds, our products, we are coming out with them, using our indigenous approaches, etc. But we haven't done that. We have allowed, just like with many other things, other people to dictate our development,
Yes.
and especially because we think that we don't have the resources or the money.
Yeah.
So what's been allowed is that now the whole world is moving towards an artificial system, artificial intelligence,
Yes,
artificial this and that. So now you also have a forceful agric that is being forced. Tomatoes are being made to ripen earlier.
Yeah.
GMO is in place. Quick. And all these have an effect on who we are, how we think, what we consume,
Yeah.
and how eventually things turn out for us. So I think that we are not just dependent, but we have actually abdicated responsibility. And that is where I'm going with all of this, that we have to take responsibility. It's not enough to say, oh, people have fed us this or they gave us this. Yes, there was a time when we were really oppressed, we're enslaved, etc. But now
Yes.
we have the power. And I tell the young people, you live in an age where you now have opportunity. You have opportunity to travel. You have opportunity to watch YouTube, and you can learn a whole lot over there. So we have to take that responsibility back.
Okay, that is really great, because I'm saying this because if you look at, especially when you go to the villages where they do the farming,
Yeah.
you see someone, he has animals where he rear animals in his farming, and he could have converted the drops of the animals to manure
Manure.
instead of going to the market to
Yeah.
buy fertilizer. And we have even trees that are with us, like the neem tree and
Yeah.
other things that are very good in when it comes to pesticides and other things.
Yes.
We could have used it to control that instead of going into the market to buy the chemicals.
Yes.
And I was speaking to one health specialist, and he was saying that is why this time we have a lot of these chronic diseases because of the chemicals that we
Yes.
consume in the market.
Yes.
So it will be good if we educate the people on how to use what they have. You see, economically, it will help them, and then health-wise, it's also good.
Yes.
As compared to coming to buy the chemicals, fertilizer, the chemical products, you go and spray. Even when you spray, it spoils our water bodies and other things.
Thank
Because you spray, it rains, it washes it into the water,
water,
but you go and
yes.
fetch the water.
Then you
drink.
have the side effects.
So it's good you came out with this initiative, and I'll be very happy if you add that to it, emphasize on that, so that the farmers will take the going organic seriously.
Okay. So you have highlighted a very, very critical point. Critical point is that what is our own food system? What is our, when we talk about grid of food or market systems or
Yeah.
food systems, what really is our food system? So when we are talking as Africans,
Yes,
from the seeds all the way to even the harvest.
the harvest.
And how do we treat and how do we manage? How do we even harvest?
Yes.
In ways that are beneficial to us and does not affect the earth in a negative way. One thing that we don't realize, I don't believe that you can separate Africans from the earth. I think we are intrinsically linked,
to the earth.
to the earth, our rhythms, our thinking, our inspiration, and that's just who we are as a people who are spiritual. And I think we have abandoned those aspects of ourselves. There's so much around us. We all know how wealthy we are and how rich the earth is.
Yes.
We do not nurture the earth. We do not listen to her. I'm not propagating idol worship, but I'm talking about the reality of the fact that the earth is a conscious being. What you put in is what you get out. It's just like a relationship. You put in, you get out. If you put in the best, so we have to nurture the earth. We have to make sure, because she's the one who's feeding us, the one that God has given to us as a main source of feeding, and also the main source of income, because a lot of people are also looking at commodities
Yes.
in Africa. So we have to establish food systems where we make sure that from beginning to end, this is the African way, or this is the Northern way, or this is the, which involves honoring our traditions, honoring the land, and making sure that as little as possible chemical is used.
Yes.
Before we even agree to a chemical, why are we agreeing to it? Usually it is because somebody has come from somewhere and they've done it, because we have not been doing it.
Yes.
We don't have fertilizer factories, input factories, etc. But there are many farmers that I'm working with, who have actually found ways and means to make local fertilizer, but the investment is just not there for them to be able to produce it eventually. So one of the things that I am passionate about is eventually being able to wake up in the morning. The other day I woke up looking at, from between 6 and 7 o'clock, 90% of what I used in my house was foreign. This is the real slavery. We are working for others. Everything, even the needle that I used to sew was from China.
From China.
So that is what the pattern that we need to break. which has gone on since colonization and slavery. We need to break so that we are ensuring that we are using our own methods. You mentioned neem, the use of neem, the use of so many other pesticides, because pesticides are part of farming,
Yes,
as you know.
it's part of
How do we now manage all those things? How did we manage it in the ancient days? So one of the reasons I started Social Innovation Africa was to take all the things that were good about our culture, our traditions. Some of them are outdated, some of them are long processed,
Yes.
and now mix it with the futuristic and come out with the model that is actually for Africa. So
Yes.
in many ways, Trump deciding that he's cutting off aid, USAID, etc., was painful. I agree. People have lost their jobs, and I'm very sorry about that. But what is the lesson in this? It's almost as if God is telling us, Africa, it's
telling
time
us that we have to stand for
on your own.
ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've worked in entrepreneurship for a long time, and I worked all across the continent, and we realized that the places that where we had the most innovative products were where people had nothing. They were forced to innovate.
Yes.
Even when we look at countries like Japan, we look at countries like China, we look at countries like Russia,
Yeah.
and places, even the United States, it was done out of necessity. So aid has not been our friend. And if we continued like that, we would just have been living under a false paradigm for so long. So what has happened, it has been taken away, and now everybody is now thinking, oh, let me go back to farming. Let us discover. Back to source. This whole thing that is coming up, and I'm very passionate about it, and I'm looking forward as the years go by for us to many of us have begun, and congratulations to those of you who are already in that space. But really, really develop a food system that is amazing, a value addition system where I can walk into a shop and everything there is made in Ghana. It is tasty, it is well packaged, it meets all the right requirements, and I don't need to buy 90% of what I consume, or even 99.9% from foreigners.
From foreigners. It's true. Looking at our importation is very high. Everything we have to. You see, the issue is we cannot do away. We cannot say we are doing away with technology 100%.
Or even exports.
Yes, we have to. We cannot do away with it, but we have to minimize it. We have to use what we have.
Yes.
Things that we think we need it and we cannot do it ourselves. That is what we import.
Oh yes, and I think agri-tech is a passion of mine. I think there's a lot of digital innovations that we can use the agriculture made by our own people. We have young people, they are going to school. Our faculties are full of people who are studying. So these young people should be encouraged to come up with innovations and inventions that are localized. Right? So that we don't have to use other people's systems, because that is where the weakening of our economies come in. So by the time you finish paying for exportation, the price, you look at we buy 1.3 billion cities worth of tomatoes from Burkina. I think it's more than that, but I'm not going to go there before somebody starts to argue and some researcher will come and But this is the challenge that we keep on having, that our economy is a false one. It is based on somebody producing and us coming. So they're able to charge us. How are we going to make profit? How are we going to become sustainable as a country? Whereas community-wise, if everybody is planting, if everybody is, and that's like you said, there's nothing wrong with export. If it's done the right way, you have something, I have something. We exchange, we come, and then I don't beat you down on price because you don't have.
Yes.
So we always come to the table, and the negotiation table, vulnerable and weak. This is what I don't like. So we can't even negotiate anything. Number one, even the farm produce that we produce was made by somebody bringing a grant.
Yeah.
And that is why I think that our government has to arise. And there has to be a certain level of shame that we should be able to feed ourselves. Even if it is with the garden, your own garden.
Making your own garden to feed yourself.
Feed yourself.
At least if you will not sell, but you shouldn't go to the market and buy again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why you're always vulnerable, because the person in the market, you don't know how they grew their crops. You don't know, and that's why tracing has also become so important. People want to trace and know where their products come from, because there's all kinds of things going on. So food safety becomes a problem. Food security, it's a never-ending cycle.
Okay. So I would like you to take us back to the NGO, the organization you have.
I'm not an NGO.
Okay, sorry. The organization,
the
social enterprise that you are having, that is into, let me say, sexual. Gender-based. How does it work? Or let me see, what are your aims? What are you targeting? Your missions?
Okay.
I want to know.
So our mission is really to make women and their communities resilient.
Okay.
When we talk about resilience, we talk about economically. We also talk about things like food security, nutrition, the well-being and overall prosperity for women. I believe that women are the keys to wealth, to well-being. We all know what they say about educating a woman, and I think most people believe it. We know that the women are the center of society. How do we now unlock that creativity, those gifts, those blessings that is in them, that has been suppressed for centuries? That has caused the girl child to feel disadvantaged. And I tell you, every society where you suppress half of your workforce, you are not going to prosper. That is what has kept on happening in various countries, cultures, etc., etc. And I believe that now, today, we are enlightened enough. There's education, thank God for that. And there's opportunity. And for places like the North, which has been particularly vulnerable, the girl child and the education of that girl child is so important. And the woman. So what we do is that we are looking at programs where we have a program for climate, agriculture, called Daughters of the Soil. We have something called the Earth Academy, because it's where women can learn about climate smart, agriculture. They can learn about, just techniques. They can drive tractors. They can learn all those things, So Agri-TVET is a really, really big focus of our own. And we are looking at being able to create an army of women, a movement of women, just like they did with the 31st December Women's Market. That movement, something similar, where women are processing, they are trading, they are exchanging, etc., so that they will not have their dependence on men. Not that I'm saying that it is wrong to
depend on
men, but the men themselves, they are not seen top. Let's be honest. These are
we are also seeing top now.
Yes.
Someone is depending on you.
Yes. So, and then the children, and one household income household, it's hard. It's So we want it to be two households, and we know that there are lots of single mothers, but they are left with the care of the children, of raising the children, etc. So making sure that these women are okay, and not just the children, the aged, even the single men in the community. Once women have, everybody will eat.
That is it.
Yeah, we all know that. So we want to make sure that the woman is at the center, and that we are not just paying lip service as a nation, and on Mother's Day we honor them, this, that, and the other. I think every tradition believes that the role of the mother is very critical in the role of women, but it hasn't translated so well because we are also there are several challenges across board. So we are not saying that we don't need women, not at all. We are just saying that the women should be able to also play their part and even become more prosperous, so we have an equal society. When that happens, you realize that arguments in the house go down.
Yes.
Shared household income is possible. Yes, one person doesn't believe necessarily, unless he's sick or something is wrong with him, one person doesn't necessarily believe that he owns you, because you are both coming and bringing something. So when one person is heading the household and bringing the household income, and the other person is seen as doing nothing, not I think women do nothing, I think we do a lot. I think that there are some dynamics that come into play that a lot of men listening even wouldn't want their daughters to be in that position, because your every move is dictated by the person who gives you money, and that is the reality. If I'm also the only one earning money, I have certain expectations. If I have cousins or nieces or whatever I live in, I expect to come home and find a well-cooked meal, etc., etc. So some of those things are natural. So we want the women to arise, we want them to take their power, so that they can also enjoy their marriage, and they can also own their own power within the marriage. They can be equal, seen as equal opportunities. Sorry, I said they can be seen as equal opportunities. They can be seen as equals. They can play their role as mothers and nurturers, just like the ancients. We used to have that. We used to have the women as the center of and also the role of the queen mother can also come back.
Okay.
The role of girl children, etc., and we should elevate that. So I feel that women have had a raw deal over the centuries, and it's time. It's time, and I think that now everybody's in agreement that it is time. Now is the practicalization of seeing that.
So we are now planning to put it on practical, so that people will see what is happening.
So practically, it comes down to, again, resources. It comes down to training. I think there's a certain type of agriculture that we need to nurture here. At the moment, it can be very expensive. Irrigation is one aspect. So here in the northern region, we have the women farming, not just here, everywhere, for 6 months, and then now they can't do anything again.
Yeah, they have to sit at home for
Yes.
the next.
Thank you. So with irrigation, that's one of the things we're advocating for. Irrigated lands, you can have farming going on for at least 9 months of the year, because you have to leave the ground to become fertile.
Yes.
So I believe that, and that is one. Training them to use indigenous methods like the neem, etc., reduces the cost, because now agriculture is a cash cow. There's so much people are making money off it, and that's not practical. So in the community, what is it that we can use? So again, developing an agri-food system that works for everybody, that is affordable, that is organic. And we all know that organic is, really the right way to go. So many of these things that we are consuming now, the GMO products, the different products, they all have codes in them. We are altering, and so it also has impact in terms of how we think. As we know, learning disorders have gone up. There were some years or centuries ago, you didn't hear that much about autism, but now it is an ADHD, all these things, and all these have an effect. The food we eat, the sugar content, the different sweetness, and all these acids that are going in our body and rendering our young people crazy. Even some of the people who are now, are deciding that they are all kinds of things. I can't mention here. Some of it has to do with the kind of food that we are eating. We have children killing their parents. We have children saying they are hearing voices and all those kind of. The food you eat is very important because it's what gives your brain. It feeds your entire central nervous system. So we can't say that these things do not play a part in the rise of mental disorders and all kinds of challenges. So we have to look at that. Diet is very, very key, and all this. So we have the kind of society that we want. There are things that we were designed for. The African skin, we have a unique skin, we have unique hair, unique body, and it's beautiful. It's from God. So we should nurture it. I believe that God has given every community, every society, every people how they should have their nutrition and also how they can make money. So why don't we grab hold of that, create something around that? We are almost 2 billion people globally. I mean, there's 1.4 billion people on the continent. We can trade between ourselves. We can feed ourselves. We can, there's no need for us to go outside. There's no need for us to be economic refugees everywhere. If we would only take the time, sit down and design a system and allow it to work. The good thing with Africa is that other people have done it. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can look at what China has done. We can look at what Europe has done. The positive aspects of those things. Add it, take some of our tradition, and then create a system around that. I can create one system. You can create another system. There's no limit.
When we bring it together,
so that we can have a bountiful harvest. We can have enough food. We can store food adequately from beginning to end. We have challenges with things. So I'm growing tomatoes at the moment. One of the challenges the reason why I spoke about having to import 1.3 billion worth of tomatoes into Ghana is because there's no cold storage. So the whole value chain really needs to be looked at, and we need to be able to fill the gap and give that to women and allow them to just run with it and bring in the magical, bountiful harvest where there's more than enough for everybody in the community.
Okay. So I think it's very great, and your your organization is doing very well.
With you are just
what
starting,
you said. You are just starting, but with what you presented, it shows that yes, we need to support you people so that you can achieve what you are targeting. So that is it. And you made mention something, and I was saying, like we growing up, I grew up in the village, and when we were in the village, so when we were in the village, our pomade was shea butter. We used the shea butter. But now, if you look at let me say tamale here, how many people use the shea? They rather prefer to buy that foreign pomade. It spoils the skin. You see someone with skin white, black, and other things. So all these things are very important. That's why we say we should go organic. If we accept that yes, we use the shea, it's going to help us. I need to ask you something last before we summarize and go. And the question is, as you said, you are looking at working with women, especially in agri.
Yes.
How do you work? Or let me put the question this way. Like, is it that you have women organizations in the farming communities where you meet them and you work, or how do you work? If someone wants to, maybe, let's say someone is somewhere and wants to work with you.
So we work according to farms. We create farms in communities.
Okay.
And then those farms have a cooperative attached to it. So that cooperative is under the Queen Mother, and we work with them.
Okay.
Then we work in terms of so we have we do climate smart farms with irrigation, and so based on the need and the availability of resources.
Okay.
So we are hoping in the future that will eventually evolve to having many more farms, factories, processing centers, and be able to do the products ourselves and package them. Nothing made in Northern Ghana. Buy nothing.
Made in Tamale.
Yeah. Yes.
So that we'll write made in Tamale boldly on it.
Made in Kumbu.
Or Kumbu. Okay, yeah, we'll establish the factory in Kumbu.
Why not?
Or my village, Palaga.
Why not? Why not?
Okay, so that is it. And if you are watching, I think it's a very interesting discussion with Madam. And I am going back to her to take her last words, and then before we come and close and end the program here. So, Madam, your last words in summary on with all what we discussed. What do you
Okay.
have to tell the people?
I want to tell everyone who listens to me that God has a plan and a purpose for Africa. There's a blueprint for Africa. We don't have to be like anybody else. We don't have to cook like anybody else. We don't have to look like anybody else. We are unique. What we need to do is to set ourselves to find out who exactly we are, what are those attributes, and how do they work for us. And that is what has been missing. And when we do that, we will really, really walk into the golden age of Africa's renaissance.
Okay.
So, congratulations to you if you're an African, your best years are ahead of you. And regardless of what has happened in the past,
Yes.
the best is yet ahead.
Let's forget about the past.
Yeah.
Look at what
Yeah.
is coming.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have some people to read, or do you have let me see social media handles, or if someone wants to contact you, where the person can get in touch with you? For instance, someone is watching and wanted to get in touch with you, partner with you, or whatever.
Yes. So you can get in touch with me at Anatu at siafrica.online.
Okay.
So siafrica.online is our website. And so you can write to Anatu or programs at siafrica.online.
Okay.
And so somebody will attend to you.
Okay. So you can see it on your screen. Yes, the website is on your screen right now. If you want to get in touch with them, just try to go to that website. I think if you send them a message, someone will attend to you.
Yes.
Yes. So, Madam, we thank you very much for coming. And Farmside Podcast, we are always available anytime they need arise. Even we do field work. If you need us to go to the field with you, we are ready to go with you.
No problem.
And anywhere or anyhow you want us to push, we are ready to push you.
Oh, thank you
that
so much.
at the end we can all get the benefit
Amen.
of what we are doing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you are watching, this is Farmside Podcast. Try to follow us on Facebook at Farmside Podcast, TikTok, YouTube, Farmside Podcast. And just be with us. Anything you want to know about farming, we'll bring it to you. Your regular host, Mr. TK. And I'll not also forget to greet my producer, Mr. Razak, aka Ayya. Okay, we sign out.